Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
13 days have passed since two men were found dead in their Allen Benedict Court apartments. And since then, a whirlwind for more than 400 residents, many of whom are still waiting to learn where they'll live.
When we first got here, my son kept asking, can we go home? And I tried to explain to him, like, no, we don't have a home right now no more. We can't go that far home.
Now, we're just learning someone was transported to the hospital one day before these bodies were found, suffering from symptoms of a gas leak. Cyanide, carbon monoxide, and more found in mass concentration coming from one apartment. Nearly 2 weeks later, questions still remain.
It's been 2 weeks and you're saying none of you have discussed this together as a board. Why? I guess why is that?
What do you want me to say?
WIS continues to dig for answers.
Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
Right now on your news at 6, remembering Farrah Turner.
A lot of people say they care, but Farrah actually put her concern into action.
The Florence County investigator passed away nearly 3 weeks after being shot in the line of duty. Today, her family and community in mourning.
You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child, and Farrah is part of my village.
The investigator who went above and beyond the call of the badge to serve others.
Her last comment to our conversation was that anytime that I can help, I will.
Your news at 6 starts now.
Happening right now, investigator Farrah Turner's body just returned home to Florence County there at a funeral home in King Street. It was following an autopsy that was conducted in Charleston earlier today. It has been an emotional last 24 hours. That is because Turner died last night after being shot nearly 3 weeks ago, really in an ambush. You can see the community response as her body arrived at the funeral home there this evening. Excuse me. At least 100 people gathered and more still arriving to pay their respects and to honor her sacrifice for the community. That procession started about 2 hours ago in Charleston, making its way through that area of the state to take Farrah back home so that she can be laid to rest on Sunday. Law enforcement and others have lined that street literally the entire way to honor her service.
Oh my God.
This frightening scene captured by a WIS viewer in Newberry County. You can see and even hear those power lines seemingly come into contact with a tree near Newberry College. We're getting a look at storm damage from across the Midlands as strong storms and even possible tornadoes impact our area. Before we take a closer look at that, we want to get you straight over to Chief Meteorologist Demenis Brown for a check on our weather right now. Demenis, the tornado watch for much of the area just ended, right?
Absolutely. So things are beginning to get a little bit better, Emily, across the Midlands of South Carolina. But now until at least 10 o'clock tonight, we're still going to have that threat for at least some heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds as well. But you'll notice the tornado threat and the hail threat on the lowest end of the scale. But overall, still have that threat for some heavy rain, even some gusty winds across the area. Let's check out the radar right now. We still have some thunderstorms out there. I'm going to turn the lightning off and show you where some of the heaviest of the activity is happening right now. So we're talking about areas in Clarendon County near Somerton, right on the doorstep of Manning. We're seeing some heavy rainfall crossing over the I-95 corridor towards areas in Vance and Holly Hill in the eastern sections of Orangeburg County. These are thunderstorms right now, so you're hearing some claps of thunder out there. Also getting a lot of heavy rainfall too. Pockets of heavy rain over Sumter County and also a shield of heavy rain over the eastern sections of Richland County. This is off towards areas near Fort Jackson, also near the Eastover area. Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter County also seeing some of that activity. And you'll see some pockets of heavy rain even for Kershaw County right now. All this is headed towards areas in Lee County very soon, so be on the lookout. For downtown Columbia, even for areas here in Lexington County, we're just seeing some light, steady rain. We saw all the heavy stuff a bit earlier today, but we still have some of that activity getting a little bit heavier off to the west. There's still a cold front moving through the area right now. So some heavy rain over areas in Edgefield, getting on the doorstep right there for Saluda County. That will head towards Newberry County right soon, but you see Greenwood covered up with some heavy rain, even McCormick right now. So a wider perspective can show you that we had one line to roll through. We have the second line, and then we have another little batch over to the west, but not expecting severe weather with this. Still, there could be some embedded gusty winds with some of this activity as it moves in, and we have been tracking some lightning with it. So you might hear some more claps of thunder pretty soon. So here's a look at Futurecast with the clock at the top of the screen. I want you to notice that over the next few hours, we're going to start seeing a lot of this spreading from west to east with a gradual clearing trend from west to east. That's 8:30 tonight. So a lot of that round that we're seeing over in the west will start pushing in over the I-95 corridor, beginning to really move on out pretty nicely there by 10 o'clock tonight. Then as we head towards 11 o'clock and thereafter toward the early morning hours, we'll likely see a few clouds, but we're going to say goodbye to the rain, and we're going to see some more sunshine in the picture. So as we go through tomorrow, considerably cooler, cool and breezy. Temperatures in the 60s as opposed to some of those 80s that we saw in the past couple of days. But we have some warmer weather on the way. With all the details in your First Alert 7-day forecast coming right up.
Thanks, Dominus. And as those storms came through, knocking down trees, this, of course, led to power outages, and a lot of them. Take a look right now at the SCENG outage map. Thousands are without power right now. 13,000 in the dark in Lexington County, more than 8,000 without power in Richland County. Thousands more co-op customers are also in the dark. Right now, no word on when power is expected to be restored. And as the storms tore through the Midlands, WIS brought you warnings to your phone first and continuing coverage right here on air as tornado warnings went out for multiple areas in the Midlands. Those areas now cleaning up some major damage. We've got live team coverage tonight from 2 impacted areas. Our Jenna Cisneros is out in Gilbert. First, we start with Ashley Holland, though, who's live in Columbia. And Ashley, you heard quite the story from one storm victim.
And the debris all around us here shows just how strong those winds really were when they swept through this massive tree. Just one of them uprooted through concrete, slammed onto this truck. The tree fell all down into the road, across several other neighbors' property, snapped in two, twisted and warped. These are just some of the sights you see through the Woodwinds neighborhood in Columbia. I followed neighbors through their area to just show what kind of things they experienced. Spoke with one man who said he was concerned for his life, feared for his safety, ran to take cover in his bathroom because he looked outside of his kitchen window and saw a 100-year-old oak tree come straight up through the ground because of those heavy winds. That's when he said he took cover with his 3 small dogs in his bathroom. Take a listen to what he had to say.
It's a game changer. It's a once-in-a-life thing that you go through and you don't ever want to go through. I mean, I will never want to go through another tornado, and I feel for people that have gone through it before, but I do not want to go through it again because it is very scary, and when you actually survey damage and thinking that, hey, this just happened to me, it's really heartbreaking.
Elsewhere throughout the neighborhood, trees did topple down on top of homes. This property owner where I'm standing right now, he has a new gaping hole in one of the bedrooms of his upstairs home. Ironically, the man is a retired meteorologist. He said based on what he experienced, he believes what we experienced here was a tornado. Of course, though, the National Weather Service still has to confirm that. But these neighbors who have been constantly checking up on one another, happy that just no one was injured. There are no reports of injuries from this storm. Live in Columbia, Ashley Holland, WIS News 10.
Thanks for that, Ashley. And we'll check back in with you in about 20 minutes. Over in Gilbert now, viewers called WIS first, saying they had major damage in that area. Take a look at the scene on Simcease Road. This area is between Wire and Hayes Crossing Roads. Lexington County tweeted out these pictures saying the Red Cross has been called in to help families. That's where we find our Jenna Cisneros live tonight. Jenna, what kind of damage are you seeing so far?
Emily, there is a lot of damage. Let's give you a look right to it. You can see all those branches over there, not just one, many, all down the road, rooted right out of the ground, branches all around here. Now, there's several buildings with damage too, as well. There's a a chicken coop right in that corner over there. You can see the top of it, of the roof, all that metal's off, and it's all around this road. You can take a look, those big chunks over there. Now, there's some damages to homes as well. Homeowners are trying to fix the windows as we speak. Neighbors tell me all this damage happened in no more than 20 minutes. And speak of neighbors, I'm going to let you listen to one right now. We're looking at Sean Whitaker. Sean, you witnessed it all happen. Talk to me what
Pretty
you saw.
Much. Went inside for about 2 minutes. It wasn't raining. Come back out maybe a couple minutes later, all you could see was water, and you see a big old tree being lifted out of the ground, and all you could see was water, metal, foam from the chicken houses flying over across the street into the woods. You couldn't tell what was going to happen at the time. You just see a big old mess like a hurricane, but it wasn't a hurricane, just a big old mess of wind, gusts, trees.
And those metal shards, that you said they were flying.
Yeah, flying over the houses across the street into the woods. And you're afraid to kind of go outside because you're afraid to probably get hit.
And did you see anyone get hit? Everyone's okay?
Yeah, as far as I know, everybody's okay.
Now, what was describe those feelings to me while this was happening. You were inside the house. Describe that.
Well, it was inside the house, and all you could see is a bunch of water, trees, everything flying. We thought the roof was coming off, but it wasn't ours. Just found out it was the chicken house's roof. It was flying across the street. Foam, styrofoam, metal tin, as you can see everywhere, and it just getting worse and worse. About a minute, and it lasted for probably about 20 minutes, and then it kind of like stopped, but the things were still flying. Metal, debris, trees being lifted, trees being all kinds of being out of shape.
All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Again, lots of damage over here. We're going to continue to track this, and coming up in a few minutes, you're going to hear from a homeowner whose house had stuff happen right through the window, and there is lots of damage inside of her house. We're going to give you a look of that coming up soon. Live in Gilbert, Genesis Narrows, WIS News 10.
Incredible that we aren't hearing of any injuries yet. Thanks for that, Jenna. Now take a look at the damage caused by this tree in Irmo. This on Shamport Court. You can see the severe damage caused by a tree that seems to have just snapped during the storm. The homeowner describes this scary scene as that tree came crashing down.
And I ran from right up under the garage there to the front door. And soon I made it to the front door, it started coming on down. And I hollered in the door to my family, y'all get out the kitchen, please hurry up, get out the kitchen. And all that's when it just boom and practically almost knocked me off the porch when it fell.
Luckily, no injuries reported in this incident either. That homeowner you heard from says they moved out of the way just in time and avoided the roof, which caved in. And take a look at the damage sent in to us by WIS viewers. You can see trees ripped down during strong and severe storms that quickly tore through the Midlands. The most severe damage so far seems to be in areas like Lexington, Fairfield, and Richland counties. But again, no injuries have been reported. And of course, as severe weather strikes, you'll get an important warning on it first on your WIS News app. It's free and in your app store.
Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
This is not the first, and I don't even think it's going to be the last. Every year, there's something going on over there.
7 inmates killed, another 17 hurt after an hours-long riot at a level 3 prison in the Midlands.
I'm never surprised when I hear that there's been a riot at Lee Central, at Lee Correctional. Never. Because they are some of the worst inmates I've ever heard of.
For more than 6 hours, housing units remained unsecure as inmates fought.
I just don't understand they let it get out of control. Too many people died and got all them people injured and stuff.
Now, questions of safety remain for inmates, officers, and the public.
These are dangerous people, and they're in prison because they have been judged to be so dangerous as to be required to be kept in prison.
Your News at 6 starts right now.